Recording.
Okay, we're going to call this show update slash please buy some t-shirts. And I'm going to set that down. Okay, so okay. Hi, I'm still Othias, and this is another conversation about our merchandise, but do stick around because I am going to tell you a little bit about the future of the show. So, right now we're running a t-shirt campaign through Indiegogo. There are 5 shirts available. You've all seen them before if you're watching this video. They are available only for this summer. I think I did forget to tell that in the first one. So I noticed a few commenters saying, oh, I'll get them later on. You will not. It's this campaign and then they're done. So the plan is to have our regular sort of country themed ones every other fundraiser. And then try to have some limited stuff, things that are from 2019 specific to this time period, specific to you being a fan of the show right now. So if there's a design you like, this is your chance to get it. And then I'm going to retire them and I'm going to put myself to work doing new designs next year. That's something I can do thanks to the fact that we brought May over full time. And then honestly, this fundraising is also to help with that because most of this show is patron funded. We don't have a lot of luck with the YouTube algorithms. We don't have a lot of luck with advertisers, although Brownell's helped out with our special. But there's really not a lot we can sell people. Our viewers are definitely not our products. You guys are the end recipients of a product that you pay for by donating to us on Patreon and buying these things like t-shirts and posters and prints over at our shop. So when you think about the show and you think about how much you like it, you understand that you are the one funding it. There's no magic genie that it comes from anywhere else. And we don't really get very much in the way of sort of magic advertiser money either. It's you guys that are doing this. And so we are very beholden to you, very appreciative of you, and also a little bit dependent on kind of reminding you that we're here to be helped. So that's why you're seeing this video now. Now, in that spirit, I'd like to say we want to improve when you guys help us improve. So a big thing that happened, and I've said this a few times in a few places, but I want to be very clear. I did this show full-time for myself for about 3-4 years now. And I was working 70 to 90 hours a week, just sweating it out. We finally fundraised enough that we could bring May over full time. And this is in addition to having Bruno the animator part-time and monies to put in other places to help get Mark's show set up and things like that. So we put the money to work plenty of different ways, but we barely eked into enough to pull May over full time, but actually not quite. We just went ahead and made the jump so that we could do Project Lightning. And then Patreon's actually sort of stayed still even after Project Lightning. So now is a very good time to be a patron because we're actually just a bit shy of our funding goal to keep May and I both working full time, which is why we're doing the merchandising and things like that. And I just want to be transparent because we're at a critical stage. Every business sort of does this. And usually in traditional businesses, this is when you bring in something like an angel investor or another advertising partner or something like that. And we don't have that flexibility. We rely on you guys. So what we have to do now is expand. And with May and I here both full time, that gives us probably, I'd say 5 months that we have to go back and clean up old messes of me running by myself for the most part and get them leveled out. And then May and I are going to start cranking out new shows. And to that effect, I would like to show you this, which is just a little preview of what you might be getting in 2020, which is a repeating shotgun series told in chronological order. Now it's all up in the air as to whether or not we even get to do the foreign pieces like this one, or if we're stuck with just the US stuff. But that all depends on our ability to find what we need, borrow or buy what we need. You get the idea. And the reason we went with a commercial shotgun series is honestly to be different, to get away from what everybody else is doing. This will not, by the way, replace Primer. It will not displace a single Primer episode. Instead, this will be an additional half-length series. We're talking about half an hour max per episode is what we're planning. This is all gray area that we haven't quite settled. But the idea is to go heavy on the visuals, get a good story of that particular commercial shotgun, and then get out so that you guys can have something that's a little enjoyable if you like the history, but also more approachable for those of you who are more into sporting arms, who like things that you can actually find and buy, because a lot of these old shotguns are very inexpensive in the market. And also just something else, right? Like everybody wants to know what they don't know. And then sometimes you want to hear a little bit more about what you already know. I think this cuts that difference. If we can get maybe 1 or 2 of these out a month in addition to Primer, you guys will be real happy with the product. And it'll be a way for us to expand the C&Rsenal base into other programming that's historical, but more easily accessed by us. I know a lot of you wanted us to do X, Y, or Z miniseries or special project, a lot of that comes down to a cost-benefit analysis, if I'm being honest. If we had $1 for every regular viewer that we have every month, which is roughly 33,000 of you, $33,000 a month would be a radically good budget for us, and we could probably do a lot of the things that you think or wish we could do. But where we're at now, well, my bills are covered. Maeve's bills are barely covered. We have Bruno around. We're able to help with special features and occasionally flex on projects like Lightning, although we do have to take time to recoup them. And I just want to be clear because I've had a lot of people, well, not a lot, but a handful of people have come by the studio or things, and they've gotten to look around and they realize how small we are. I think because we try to do our best job, we make the show look much bigger than it is. So I actually have one of these doohickeys here, and I just want to show somebody something that surprises everyone that comes through here. So I'm going to borrow a little video from this in just a second. The C&Rsenal studio is effectively a 10 by 10 room with literally some framed blankets over the walls to eat up sound, and half the room is painted white so it doesn't reflect yellow on my face, and it's just sitting in a little house. And honestly, a lot of our special projects spill out into the rest of the house, so I get yelled at quite often for taking over whole rooms. The truth is, we're a small operation. We're just flexing above our weight. And the reason we can do that is because of the dedication of, okay, fine, I'll give myself credit for once. I work very hard on the show, and so does Mae. Mae works her buns off. She doesn't get nearly enough credit out there. And then 3, our animator Bruno works his buns off. Mark steps up and helps us with all sorts of mechanical issues so that we can afford to do things that we couldn't, or have access to guns that we shouldn't have access to, if not for the fact that we're there helping them lick their own wounds. And then we have collectors that donate their pieces. We have had people contact me about accessories and ammo. I have emails and things with people giving me resources in other languages. The community is what has floated this show. It's filmed out of a tiny room, and with the help of hundreds of people who are actively involved in its development, and then over 1,000 that are involved in just subscribing to it through Patreon. And then more than that in terms of merchandising. So we are a very small organization with a very large footprint, thanks to all of you. And so I say that to be twofold: a thank you, and also this is how it's done for us. And there's not really another window or opening for us available right now. I'm always happy to hear from somebody who might want to advertise or put in some sort of aid, but it's realistically never gone anywhere for us. And it seems to be that our fans are the people we make the product for, and our fans are the ones that pay for the product. So we appreciate you all, and we look forward to keeping this relationship. And again, if you'd like to support it and you'd like to wear it proudly, there's a t-shirt campaign going on right now. And if that's not your thing, we have the regular print shop as well, so you can get some stuff on your walls. But thank you all for tuning in for 100 episodes of Primer. I'm looking forward to at least 100 more, although we will have left World War I by then. And honestly, it will get a little easier once we leave World War I. It's just that I would really like to see the last of this short list out before we move on. I think there's a lot of interlocking narratives that we can cover that make it a better whole product before we just start bringing in everything cool from every other era. All right, have a good one, y'all.
All good messages. Any way we can have it shorter than 10 minutes, you think?
Maybe, but 10 minutes is about the average for a good YouTube video. Do you
This
think I
is
was
true.
super redundant?